Hello there. This is Three Spades. I'm back with another Rogue Planet 2 devlog. Sorry it's been a while, but I've been pretty busy with a game, with a winter storm, getting my dogs taken care of, spring cleaning, and a million other things. But I'm sure you're not interested in that. You're interested in what I've done with the game since. It's been a couple months, so figured fuck it, why not? I'll show you. So, first thing I've got here is a Frutiger Aero inspired mall. This is a sort of thing that's been going around. A lot of folks have been kind of missing Windows 7, so you know what? I figured I'm going to throw them a bone. Also, added a little display tuner, so the old display settings, they did not work. Unfortunately, they were completely broken and they would screw up the lighting. So basically, if you see well, that's good. That's how George tends to see. If you don't see very well, you need to turn your brightness up, otherwise you get shot by chumps in the dark. I'll just let you fuck around with it with your GPU control panel. So I'm sure there are big name companies who can do a much better job with that than I can. So, this here is the Frutiger Aero Mall. This is using some static lighting, and I've also done a little bit of optimization to the draw distance of soldiers as well as the guns, which as you can see is getting me about 120 frames a second, if not more. And if I go up here, I'll show you. This was just something that I figured I would throw together kind of quickly. But we have some sort of, oh fuck, table tablets. We also have ourselves the best burger, because you better believe it's the best burger. And this here is the bacon sniper. It's a silenced weapon, very silent, very effective too. It's a one-shot kill, and it also has a bacon sight. Very 2011 of me, but that is just the way I like it. It's a bunch of spooky text on the wall. Some of them are Spec Ops The Line quotes. Others are some I made myself. Don't be fooled by the colors. They're the worst kinds of killers. In darkness there is freedom and safety. They remember what they left behind, and it scares them. So I used to go to cities and see malls that would look like this all the time. I mean, naturally not as dingy and run down like I've made it here, but since I didn't really want to mess with the lighting too much, I just made it look like the power's out and the thing's gotten all, well, poorly air conditioned, and the glass has been destroyed by a bunch of storms. So now that it's bright out and both teams have ran out of food, they're gonna kill each other. So over here, got ourselves the big old Frutiger Aero sort of nature-inspired wall murals and more spooky text. You called limitations and distractions growing up. In practice, it was slavery. Don't forget the future you left behind. There is no difference between what is right and what is necessary. Just spooky shit like that. I've also got the Imp 4 here. Its own sounds. I'll turn that up for you. Hopefully it's not too loud. But here they are. So I took the M4A1 sounds and then made them sound more futuristic by putting them into my movie editor and adding a flange. So now it sounds like it's shooting some sort of hybrid bullets that are like a mix between a laser and a bullet. And I figured that'd be some pretty cool shit. Naturally, the far future is still going to be fairly practical, so that's kind of why I went with a futuristic M4A1 called the Imp 4. It's a very demonic weapon. Though I'm no stranger to hellish shit being in my game, I'll show you the Hell Church and the overhaul I've done to it, as well as a lot of other maps. They've had lighting overhauls, but yeah, basically this is the Frutiger Aero Mall. This is one of 3, and I have made 2 others. I'll show you those in just a second, but this is your basic layout. It's a 3-lane map, very big verticality. Once again, you're the little toy soldier size, and got ourselves a tiger because it's, you know, sort of a jungle or forest or whatever. So just like the other jungle map with the jungle temple, we got ourselves some tigers in the mix. So who doesn't like seeing a good tiger fight? It's blood sports, entertainment. The sun is shining up there. Pretty cool shit. So I will show you the other ones. Let me load them up. Okay, so this here is the version that most people are probably going to be familiar with, the ocean. Now, naturally, I decided to add this because it's the one that I keep seeing the most, and naturally, since I'm doing a more dark, war-torn version of it, I added laser sharks. They're freaking lasers attached to their freaking heads, just like old Dr. Evil Austin Powers. And blue trees, because honestly, why the fuck not? So yeah, this is probably the one that most people are going to really like. And if you are someone like me who very, very, very much enjoys the Frutiger Aero art style as well as a ye old Xbox 360 game, this will be the perfect fit. The table tablets also have their own unique textures. I have gone in and I've replaced all of the sort of forest stuff with ocean variant. And the sort of theme throughout this is, well, yeah, it's an ocean mall. So that's just, I figured it would look pretty cool here on the new engine. And yeah, I mean, I'm not seeing anybody make Frutiger Aero stuff on Unreal Engine 4, or if I have, it was kind of more incidental. Like, it wasn't their intention, but they kind of did it. Like, say, Mirror's Edge or Black Ops 3, but those weren't even Unreal Engine 4, so it's, stuff like that. I mean, there are certainly games that still had the same art style, but they didn't really care to keep it around, so they just added a bunch of, neon 1960s stuff instead, so it is what it is. But I certainly know what I like more. See if I can get the Sandman there. Yep, over at a distance, he's a little invisible, so a little optimization I've done. This here is Ben. I think he's wanting some dinner today, but the Patriot is telling him, you better go and give Jack Frost a little nibble, because I have God mode on, so there you go. Dinner served. Alright, I'll show you the last mall, and then I'll show you whatever else I got next. Okay, so this is the third variant of the mall that I made. It's more of a sort of Halloween or hellish version. And as you can probably hear, there's a few angry zombies who are rather hungry this Halloween. Or, well, fuck it, not exactly Halloween as of recording this, but as of Halloween in Rogue Planet 2 anyway. And we've got a bunch of drink machines and other spooky writings and bits of graffiti on the wall. Wonderful stuff. And these trees have been turned into more of a fall color, but there are our main stars, the lava zombies. They have a reactive camo on the zombies. I don't think Call of Duty even does that. Or if they do, it's in some futuristic game that's more accurately an asset flip than a video game, so there they go. Those motherfuckers. Oh, yeah. Those bastards run around town, and, yeah, they're not exactly the friendliest folks. But we've also got some new tables. I'm going to show those to you. And these are based off of an idea that Microsoft once had, I saw on YouTube, and just also like stuff I would see all the time in the 2010s, but basically like big table tablets, where what the companies would do is they would, hold on, let me, also forgot, console commands, there we go, just so you know this is running well. But anyway, what they would do is they would have like these high-tech little tablets, and they would be like baked into the tables or the walls, or like a TV with a big touch screen on it. And there we go, big harvest moon, of course, the yellow moon. as is for you know, Halloween. But yeah, they would often have like some sort of big table tablet, and I figured, you know what, fuck it, why don't I give that a try? Just have like some nature background or some shit I'd see in Windows 7 days, and put that in Unreal Engine 4. And there you go. There's also table tablets down here. This is sort of a Halloween version of the train station. The mall is sort of a mini mall, if you will. All these stores up here would have been open at one point, but naturally, due to the apocalypse, they were shut down. So I fired my laser. I fired my laser. You know, and all those motherfuckers got shut down. So spooky text. Shit back there. There's stuff behind the counters. When this comes out, you'll get to explore it for yourself. But go up here. You should have left when you had the chance. It's just repeated over and over and over again. So it's just pretty cool version of the map. There's like 3 variants. I'll probably end up using this for the zombie survival one too, because yeah, fuck it, why not? But anyway, I'll show you another pretty cool thing, and this is something I've added to both the mall and the zombie version. So I'm going to show you the normal version first, but it's a real-time mirror. Yeah, this is something that I hear so often that apparently people can't do anymore. I'm going to show you that's false because I managed to do it in 5 minutes. Alright, so the mall massacre and mall infestation got a little overhaul. I've sort of cleaned up the locker rooms for the pool on the first level. And I've also reduced the amount of lights, but I mean, naturally they are still here. It's just I don't think I needed 8 of them overlapping and destroying the frame rate quite as much as they were. But if we go over here, these lights still have physics and all that. I got a real-time mirror working, and it's a little pixely, but it's done more so for the sake of performance, and it does fade in and out pretty damn quickly, just so you don't lag the hell out. But yeah, as you can see, I'm not looking at this guy behind me. He's able to shoot me. There are bullet holes that'll go in this mirror. And as you can see over there to my right, and he up the stairs, this mirror is working. In fact, it is working very well. And I'm still getting about 70 FPS while looking into this mirror directly. And I mean, it's still a little screwy because naturally, I mean, it's reflecting some things like the first-person view model, but yeah, that's a real-time mirror. Apparently it can't be done. Well, I managed to do this about 5 minutes by ticking a box in the Unreal Engine project settings and enabling support for planar reflections, and then this is just a cube with planar reflection on it. And yeah, it was a pretty simple process. In fact, it was very easy to sort of lower the resolution so it didn't get too demanding there, but it is a little demanding. But this is kind of a high traffic area. A bunch of guys will come in and out, drop their guns, and whatever the fuck else. But I figured that'd be a pretty cool thing to do. I've also added some directions. There's the lockers, there's the pool. Sounds are still playing on that. And I've also kind of simplified a lot of this. There's some changing rooms here instead of just bathrooms like there were before. I've also added some kind of world building. So, just spooky shit like this. Where the red, the blue, and the black teams, if you will, the living and the dead talk to each other with graffiti. Sort of hints at the story. So there we are. And here it is on the red side. This is their version of the locker room, and these are new locker models that I've textured and got all sorted in here. Optimized those to run fairly well, as you can see. And here's the mirror on their side. So there are two mirrors in this map. They don't always load in because, I mean, reflections, as you could tell, they are kind of intensive, especially in a much more modern engine like Unreal Engine 4. But yeah, it does work. As a matter of fact, it works pretty well. It's still getting a seemingly decent frame rate. And here we are. Also, that's another thing kind of bugs me with so many games is they'll just call it the mall or whatever the fuck else. So I decided to call this the Lieutenant Mongrel's Mall. And of course you can pick up the golden gun and you can have fun here. This mall was founded in 2026 thanks to the generous help of gamers like you. Thank you. And just, please enjoy your stay. It might be your last. Spooky things. I'm kind of leaning into more of the Halloween theme throughout. But yeah, outside I've also got the trees, and I'll show you that as well. There's a bunch of new tree models. Most of these maps have been merged into one big model instead of a bunch of different models, which were constantly sort of overwhelming the draw calls and lowering the frame rate and causing a bunch of stutters. But yeah, I've managed to kind of get this under wraps. I also fixed his left leg turning into a spike sometimes, so there we go. The current temperature is 222 degrees. You're being cremated alive. Emergency. Severe weather alert. Evacuate the mall. Just things like that. Did we know what price we'd pay for this? And just other little bits of text. Perfectly good food set out to rot. The old purgatory bit on the channel. And yeah, still got those self-ordering kiosks and a bunch of beer and whatever the fuck else. And naturally there's some 3D pistols. Other goodies. So big overhaul. Figured I'd go through and just show you the good shit there. The way I did this little reflection here, the way they do it sort of in Unreal 4 is you get this planar reflection volume, and then you get like a metal sort of surface material, and I just put it on a cube. So this is what it would look like without the reflection, and this is what it looks like with. So there you go. Pretty simple fix once you know how to do it. That's pretty cool. So then, on to the next one, and that's going to be the mall infestation. So just a second. Okay, so here's the zombie mall, and oh wait, hold on. My bad, this is an earlier version. Alright, so this here is the zombie version of it. This is the right one. Sorry, my bad there. But we got the right version now. And here we are. Might be a little sluggish at times, getting down to the 50s and 60s sometimes. But hey, a bunch of zombies that have been added to the map, so shit's bound to happen. But here we are, as you can see. The mirror also works with the zombies. It reflects them too. This is all happening dynamically in real time for these little mirrors, and this guy's behind me. And no sleight of hand here, as you can see. It's he's actually there. So this is not some screen space reflection method like Unreal typically would do. Nope, this is the real deal. This is an actual real-time mirror. And the way that I've optimized this is pretty simple, but it's something that often gets overlooked, mostly because it's an older method. But despite it being an older method, it still works. So what you can do is you can merge the models by like right-clicking all the models you want to merge. And in my case, I merged all the sinks and whatever the fuck else. And did that a few times just to ensure that everything was all together and all set and all good. And as you can see, this is all just one big model. So there we go. It's no longer a bunch of fences like it used to be. And as a result, performance is significantly improved across the board. Now, it's not the most optimized thing in the world, but it is significantly better on a computer from 2012 made with Windows XP in mind. So I figure more people are going to appreciate a game that is somewhat fairly optimized, that can run on their current computers or fairly older computer, like one from 2012, maybe slightly upgraded in my case, and they prefer that over having to just buy a new computer or do a bunch of other shit they don't really want to. It's like, would you rather just have a game that runs well, looks good across the board consistently, and you don't have to upgrade to Windows 11? Because I think people would rather be comfortable with the computers they already have as opposed to just upgrading to some new stuff because some company wants to make money. Sometimes I think it's a good idea to be more practical with where you kind of put your shit. And in my case, I'm thinking just more so like, okay, what do people have as opposed to what I'd like it to be? Well, I mean, hell, if it was up to me, I'd like to be on Windows 7, but that's not how the world works. So, the more you know. Let me show you the Satan Church and some of the other shit I've been doing. So, just a sec. Okay, and we're back. So this here is the sort of new and re-envisioned sort of Satan Church. I had to redo the lighting once I merged everything together. I also had to redo the textures because, well, apparently the will of Satan does not enjoy parallax mapped bricks. So while I was attempting to make sure that they actually looked right and ran well, Satan decided that he wanted to turn my bricks into like moss. I don't know. So I just removed the moss from the texture, and that seemed to work. So we've also got new skull textures. These have more of a lava look to them, and I figured this would be much more hellish looking by comparison to what I had before. There's also trees outside, because oftentimes the outsides of Satan churches are, according to a friend of mine, very, very run down and sort of decrepit. So the inside looks much more, as it be, much more fancy looking, and of course more red as to indicate hell. And big goat heads, big goat skulls, and whatever the fuck else. So, is what it is. Just figured I'd add a little detail here and there and kind of make the lighting look much more spooky and Halloweenish, because that's often what I was told by my satanic friend that Satan churches looked like. So there we go. We have the light of hell up above and other good shit. As you can see, the God rays, or I suppose the hell rays more appropriately in this case, coming through the windows, all running fairly well in real time. A bunch of zombies will come around and attack you. This guy can't exactly attack me because I have God mode on, very appropriately, and you can just provide him with a flashbang because the power of Christ will compel him. The blinding light of Jesus Christ has stopped him from taking my soul to the Grim Reaper, if you will. But yeah, just a little pretty cool effect here with the fog, the exponential height fog. I had to sort of redo that because the entire church turned into black and white. It looked like a much different version of hell than was anticipated here. But as a consequence, naturally, these guys don't exactly have shadows, and it kind of just looks like everything is in a blanket state of red, white, pink. But it seems to work out. Stuff off in the distance, I added a little bit of a sort of green-gray shadow just to sort of give the map some depth and some texture to it. So if I sort of walk you around this here. There we go. And then I'll show you the frame rate just to show you I wasn't pulling your leg, but there we go. This here is the map, and to sort of make it look like it's in the dark. You can't exactly see the sky anymore, but that's fine. So outside we have the trees, kind of run down, decrepit outside as it would be. Not even paint out there, nothing. So it's pretty tall. kind of unnaturally so, as is the idea behind this, because it's kind of like a Tim Burton or Alice in Wonderland stuff, you know, where things are abnormally tall or weirdly dreamlike, like Mario 64 even, but with more guns. Figured that'd be pretty cool. Or hell, even Halo. That's probably what made that game series so cool, was just how big everything looked. Kind of a shame they've turned it into just another corporate billboard ad for whatever Halloween stuff they got going on this week, but let me show you the lumber mill. The lumber mill's had quite an overhaul, so that'll be up next. Alright, so while I was optimizing the fences of this, I kind of went a little more Jurassic Park on you. So we have some big-ass Jurassic Park fences, because I needed to lower the amount of fences as to not get the frame rate too low. And what I settled on was massive Mario 64 Big Boo's Haunt, or Jurassic Park styled electric fences, if you will. Though the power's out naturally because there's a forest fire, so don't expect to get zapped or nothing. But here we are, overhauled lumber mill. There's subsurface scattering going through the trees with shadows. And these are mostly merged except for these yellow shipping crate houses. Jack Frost, he's a little pissed off, so I'm going to piss on him there. And we got a bunch of sniper rifles, so if you want to grab a 50 cal and take some pot shots at any son of a bitch who happens to walk your way, this here is a great map for that. And what inspired me was a couple of games for this sort of lighting here in this overhaul was Section 8 Prejudice, as well as Avatar, the James Cameron, the Avatar game. I figured it was a pretty cool thing to do, so I said, you know what, fuck it. Make it look a little more colorful than I usually do. That and the Frutiger Aero Mall. Oftentimes I tend to avoid an overly colorful palette because it's just been done to death, and naturally, I mean, I ain't trying to be the next Fortnite or Overwatch, so that's not exactly my favorite kind of game, and I've explained in my Plants vs. Zombies and other videos as to why, though naturally you can go watch those for yourself if you want an explanation. But Rogue Planet way up there in the stratosphere. This is based off a weird dream I had, as well as sort of the art design of various video games I had played around 2011, and just stuff I'd gotten to more recently, like Section 8, of course. And over out there we got the trees. These are trees I made with Treeit. So these are custom models and textures and everything. And this is all more proper as opposed to the just sort of placeholder trees I had from before. Those ones were rather unoptimized, so what I had to do was improvise, and these ones are not actually all merged, because every time I tried to merge them, well, there wouldn't be a forest anymore. So this is one of the few times where I actually had to merge it into a few more than one chunks anyway. Otherwise, most maps I try to merge into one big model so that it's considerably more optimized on the draw call side, but on occasion I'll have to do that. So if I show you here in the details, most of the things that are going to be separated are going to be the trees in this case, and there's going to be, like, it looks like 3 merged. So I merged 3 of these, and the 3, of course, are the trucks, the fence, and tree stumps. So we got our outside the map stuff here, and that's pretty easily separated. Now, originally in the dream as well, the planet was not on fire, but that's a cool little detail I figured I'd add, because why the fuck not, right? It's a dream. If you think about it too much, it does not make sense, because honestly, games that make too much sense are boring as fuck. Just ask anyone why they don't like Disney Star Wars. They tried to explain stuff that just doesn't need explaining. Force Unleashed 2. Just break the game and make it fun while you're at it, you know? I don't give a shit if it doesn't make sense. I give a shit if it's fun. That's what matters. So then, let's see here. I'll show you the next map, and I believe that next map is the Crash Course, which, as you can tell by the name, did not exactly want to merge well, so just a second. Okay, so this here is the Crash Course Please Fucking Merge, because I tried to merge this about 17 times, and I had to change the name because Crash Course underscore merged was not an available name for some reason. This happened a couple times on a few of the maps. I don't know why, but here we are. So here's another unique tree model. I've also got it in the Three of Spades trailer, my new one, as well as just the Three of Spades map. The jellyfish want to, they want to electrocute me as they do. And yeah, this has sort of been cleared up a bit and more optimized, at least as best I could. And it's all merged into one or two or three big models, and I've also added some other spooky text. There's its own unique font as opposed to the default Unreal Engine one. Welcome to Davy Jones' locker. Death awaits all of you. May your filth be cleansed, and all on land be drowned in the darkness below endless waters without escape. You and your kind shall be purged. I figured it was very Pirates of the Caribbean of me to write something like that. Very appropriate. I mean, hey, Halloween isn't just relegated to land now, is it? Especially when I have an ocean. You gotta have some spooky Pirates of the Caribbean shit in the ocean now, right? So there we go. I figured that'd be pretty cool. So yeah, there we are. This is the Golf Castle, of course, and if you fall down there, you die, as to be expected with the Grim Reaper and his takeover of the ocean. And there we are, the waves up above, and city skylines out there of all the proper sort of, excuse me, soda popping up, their own sort of far buildings out there, instead of just the individual little block ones that I had before that were kind of derpy. But here we are. This is a rather intricate looking map, as you can see. It's a castle and a little hiking trail off to the side with a forest, and, well, if not for the little building over here, you wouldn't exactly be able to get through, so, well, if not for this being in the way, you'd be able to go over yonder, but that's what I mean. Architecture. So, let me show you another map, just a second. Okay, so this here is the office assault map, and I've overhauled this one quite a lot, and added some quotes and little fun Easter eggs and references to some of my favorite games, Force Unleashed 2 and Tron Evolution. Little quote from Abraxas. I think you would have preferred death to this. It's written up there, and one from Silent Hill, I think it was Downpour, Here Be Monsters Again. It's a reference to the secret ending where there's Pyramid Head and everybody's celebrating, like, you get to a secret ending where they kind of have this melancholy song that just is like, damn, what a shame, here be monsters again, or something like that. I forget how it goes, but I'm sure there's people who have made 500-page video essays to that you can go watch. Just a fun little reference. Spec Ops The Line reference up here. Home? We can never go home. And if you also grab a sniper rifle, you need a sniper rifle or some sort of long-range rifle to see it, so I'm going to hop right back down yonder and go grab a capable, handy, high-caliber rifle that should be able to clearly see the wonderful shit that I have written out there. And head right back upstairs. Boop. Hold on. Oh, I missed the ladder. Well, I mean, no wonder. I thought it was stairs. It's up the ladder, more likely. More accurately, anyway. Just a sec. Okay, so here it is. As long as she lives, I will always control you. Just a little line from Darth Vader in The Force Unleashed 2. One of my favorites, considering the game didn't exactly have that many good lines, but, I mean, It was more just good set pieces more than anything, and just like 3 or 4 good set pieces, and then they stretched that out for an entire game, and it kind of outwore its welcome by hour 2. But that being said, it was still a wonderful game that I think had some certain potential that was just underrealized because of tight deadlines and other shit. More Spec Ops The Line references there. Yield loading screens. Figured it'd be pretty cool. But, yeah, we have some other cool shit here. This is a screen space reflection of the blood and the text with the ceiling. If only you could remember what you left behind, you could be so much more. Some Gears of War in here as well. And the what you left behind is deliberately in another room. Kind of playing with the whole thing. I guess you forgot what you left behind, huh? You already know how this will end. Rated M for mature. Gears of War 2 trailer. Black Ops 3 quote from Hendrix as well. That was a pretty fun game, but hey, you know. It says, as Hendrix said, he was right. And there's also the wall of why can't you remember. A couple walls of why can't you remember. Don't forget the life you left behind. Pretty cool shit. I figured it'd be kind of spooky. Spooky, go into that sort of Windows 7, Xbox 360 gaming theme I got going on here. Very, very 2011, this kind of thing I'm showing off. There we are. Boop. Grew up with a lot of games like that. They just don't make them like this anymore. What a shame. Well, guess I'm here to change that, right? So lucky me. Boop. And now you can get on the shelves. Yeah, that's a cool thing you can do. So, I merged all the shelves, and now you can actually go in between them. You can 360 fucking, you know, boop, 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 or whatever the fuck else. I'm gonna miss this guy 3 times. We 360 no scope, 360 quick scope. Whatever you feel like on a given day, off the shelves or on them. You can go on every little shelf in between. And since these bowls are the work of Satan, they now float. So that's a pretty cool one. Ave Gloriosa, Nomine Satan. It's an old Team Abolition reference. When they went onto a Christian Minecraft server, no, I'm not kidding, and turned it into hell. It did not look too dissimilar to this. I'll put it that way. Anyway, those guys deserve ice cream. Funny videos. I'll show you another map here. One sec. Alright, so this here is the Skull Cave variant of the lumber mill, and I've done a few little changes. The trees are now blue, and I mean, naturally, this is a very blue sort of Harry Potter spooky forest, if you will, and we got our twinkling stars up in the night sky. Figured that'd be pretty cool. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. Hope the necromorphs aren't where you are. Oh, there we are. Big Skull Cave. Marcus is over that way, sorta. Crooked smile for that Big Skull Cave you can't see from here. But yeah. It's a bunch of fiery old logs over yonder. Everything's still on fire from the day. So you can imagine the fires of hell continued on. As they do. And there we go. Fucking drop these ass wipes. Bye-bye, bitches. So there we are. Much more blue map. Everything's still on fire, of course, so the fire didn't exactly go anywhere. It's the work of Lord Voldemort and Lady Lucy, I'm sure. Wonderful shit. So, It's a pretty simple one. Poop. If I can kill these guys, they're gonna get me. No, they're not. I have God mode. I gotta buff this knife, don't I? I gotta sharpen this sucker. I'll probably do that in the next devlog, but we'll see. On to the next map. Okay, and I'm back. Oh, looks like they're just... Yeah, this is something that just weirdly seems to happen sometimes. For some reason, my AI decides to be a major pain in my ass. Because they'll be working right before I show you this, and then they will just decide to go to sleep on me. So, well, anyway, just a second. Okay, unfucked that. I'm back. So, here we are. This here is a remake, of course, of the second map from the first game. And I've merged a lot of these and sort of made it look more like the first game as best I could. Also a few improvements. Made the city much taller. Also made the stars move considerably faster. There's the moon. There's the rogue planet. And we have a bunch of ashes that are coming from the sky. Because in this game it took place in the 4th of July. So you can imagine it would not be snowing in the 4th of July. Though I added Krampus just for laughs there. So yeah, we got more subsurface scattering through the trees and nice little reflective leaf glows and all kinds of good shit. And there's all the water down there. So don't think you're getting off of ye old Alcatraz so easy. No, no. This is a prison meant specifically for you and the other soldiers who are poor enough to be trapped here. But here we are. I've also added in the graves, of course. You know, that was one thing that I kind of meant to do much earlier in the first game, but as for time and memory constraints of the Game Guru engine, that did not allow, so I had to cut the graves until considerably later on. But yeah, they're restored here. It was kind of like based off of that wallpaper that I had made. And we have ourselves the clubs and, you know, the other good shit. So yeah, mostly just put in my new tree models, scaled up the buildings so they're much taller than trees, but not by much, just so you can see them. And if we go over here, you can see that the eagle is over there, as well as the green light of the aurora. So there we are. There's that. Let me show you the radar array. Sorry, I'm a little trigger happy with that pause button. Just a minute. Okay, so here's the radar array, and this is now all successfully merged. I did not add the new trees, of course, but there are only so many things I could do without basically screwing up the lighting entirely and having to remake this sucker from scratch. But I did brighten up a lot of the shadows, as I'd gotten a few people who reached out to me on Discord and said it's a little too dark, so there you go. Problem solved. Now you can see in the shadows. But yeah, Renaissance Fair is still on fire over there. And I decided to switch out the manta ray and the clubs for weapons that were actually in the first game. So the only weapons that are not from the first game are... Well, actually I think it's just this UMP, but... You can pick up this, which was a gun that could only be found in the poop wrestling section, the 9mm repeater, or the Uzi 9mm. And the Soviet rifle. This is not the rusty one, of course, because the one Marcus was using was specifically broken. So, there's the SWAT shotgun. And this is more so based off of the non-sort of modified version of the shotgun from the first game. It was a breaching shotgun, a Remington specifically, that Marcus had found that was customized by... well, by Kent. He well, I won't spoil how Kent got that. You will have to play that game for yourself. This is a game that, of course, is going to go into depth about things like those where possible, but I won't give too much away. It's really worth, playing the first game for yourself. Though, as for the story mode of this one, it really won't require any knowledge of the first game to understand, though it would definitely give you a much better understanding if you did. I kind of treat it like how Star Wars or Halo 2 would do it. It would make sense if you played the first game. It would fill in a lot of the gaps, but they make it kind of just as if you've never done this and this is your first game. Or like Star Wars The Force Unleashed, or Battlefront 2. You might not know what the fuck all these things mean, but you at least know what you're doing here and now and why. So I think that's a fairly simple thing to understand. I've also added in a Rogue Planet 1 patrol carbine. I didn't exactly have a flip sight, so I just gave you a scope. This is just an M4 that shoots single and has a sniper scope, so it's basically a DMR with a long-range sniper scope. And as you can see, it takes about 5 or 6 shots, just like the first game. But, yeah, I figured that'd be much more thematically appropriate as to kind of make the entirety of this, more in line with the first game and its visuals, and less of the sort of silly tone I'm going for with the second game here and all like the demons and Satan and all the glowy shit, because I mean that's just stuff that was mostly cut from the first game, and I think it helped a little bit. But hey, on the plus side, now I get to put it in here and you get to see if it's good or bad or not. Hey, I think it's pretty good though. I think this is really good, especially those trees right there. I think it helped me get it out. I think I would not like to have cut that though, so that's what this is for. Fun fact actually about that. Multiplayer. I meant to have that in Rogue Planet 1, but thanks to Game Guru being a absolutely broken engine, I could not. So, let me show you another map here in just a second. Alright, so here is Pompeii. As you can see, it's had quite a little bit of a lighting overhaul. And this was mostly just to sort of make it look more late Xbox 360, maybe more Halo 4 or Spec Ops The Line-ish. And, yeah, I'd say that looks a lot more colorful. It also definitely looks much more fucking cool as fuck. So we got the lava river here. It does still damage you. The crop fields, actually, I found were destroying the absolute fuck out of the frame rate. So now the crop fields have been torn down and just been replaced with some overgrown crop fields that no longer are, in use. So it's just dirt. So I pick up the slug and start shooting people. I've also removed all the cars because those as well really deteriorated the frame rate, and I couldn't tell you why for the life of me, because it's not like they were particularly high poly looking. You may have also noticed throughout this that I have lowered the polygon count of the guns. And, yeah, it turned out that most of the gun models were not optimized either, so I was able to remove a few polygons and sort of simplify their geometry a bit. For instance, this pistol had about, 30,000 polygons, and I was able to get it down to 10,000, and there wasn't much of a perceptible difference. Mostly the one that got probably affected the most was this scope model and the silencer. They're a little more pointy now, but otherwise they're not like a perfect circle like they used to be. But hey, 90 frames a second, 100 frames a second. I'd say that's a good trade-off. You can even read the text, the BLK 18. I mean, I figure if you can read the text like that shit and it's still sharp, those are good enough graphics. Running 80 frames a second, ashes, fire, lightning, lava, zombies trying to kill you. Yeah, I think that's alright. So where's this kind of cool creativity in most games? I just don't see it. They're not using their environments, they're not using their lighting, they're not using really most of their physics or other systems in creative ways, and it's just what always bugs me. Like, that guy just got fucking launched because he got kicked by a zombie or two. See, like, where's the interactivity? Well, you can kick this guy's corpse, and so can they. I mean, the technology is absolutely here. This is the probably one of the more popular state-of-the-art engines on the market now, Unreal Engine, and this shit can totally be done. And so it's like, well, gee, why aren't more people doing that? Beats me, because they have to kind of go out of their way to not just make it worse, but to straight up remove that stuff and then replace it with a physics system or a gameplay system that isn't quite as satisfying. Because that's just most of this is like modified, tinkered with versions of default things. Because that's the thing I can do is Unreal Engine will automatically make a physics asset for me and I can just go clean it up. So it's like, well, if by default the guys can kick the physics models that they've created, well, why don't I just use that shit? So I do. Why change it if that's a good idea? Beats me. So let me show you Mount St. Helens here. I managed to get some pretty cool stormy trees and other shit. So, as you may see, off in the distance, there's a lot of tree branches that are getting kicked up because there's a big fucking storm and a volcano erupting. So a lot of trees over yonder in the distance are being tossed up into the air, and the forest behind it is being destroyed by all of that really, really heavy lightning. So, yeah, I figured it'd be just really, really cool to do something like that where I would have the trees, like, oh, fuck, the trees are going in the background. It's just a little two-dimensional sort of effect where it's like there's a tree that actually is broken, because behind it is this tree that I was trying to merge, and while I was merging it, the tree actually fell into different pieces. So I was like, okay, that's not what I had intended. That was a bug. But how would I use that to enhance the realism of this scenario? It's kind of like reminds me of the creeper in Minecraft. It's like, well, that was a bug where the pig was originally, you know, supposed to have like the 4 legs, but it got, you know, twisted up, and so it just looked like a different creature entirely. So what Notch did in Minecraft was he just rolled with it and made it part of the game as an official, you know, creature that blows up shit. So I figured, you know what, fuck it. How's about if my trees are broken, it just looks like it's kicking up, you know, branches are just being tossed because of the lightning or whatever. Why not? Why not just roll with it? So I'll show you it when I go in the editor, but I've added a much bigger fence. I've sort of polished that up. So now it's much more of a proper 3-rung sort of big gate here around this pioneer village. And, yep, the volcano is erupting, so in here we've also got some of the first game's art. This was one of the wallpapers for Rogue Planet 1. It was inspired by Windows XP. Over here you can see there's a cracked TV with monsters in the screens. They're in a different little digital world there, a game within a game, Inception. And this here is the Rogue Planet 1. This was a cut sniper rifle from the first game. So, you know, just shit like that. I also optimized the textures of this here log cabin. They were originally like 4K. I managed to get most of these down to 1024 or 2K without it looking too bad. And I also combined all their geometry so it doesn't lag you out too much. But in the Pompeii map, I had to make a trade-off between zombies and cars, so naturally I chose zombies as the one I wanted to stay. Meanwhile, in here, I think it's fine if the cars, you know, stay in and you're still able to get a fairly performant map, and it runs well. So there we are. This here is the grocery store for the little log cabin village here. So this is over in Washington State, of course. This was originally also like a pumpkin field, but as I found out, the frame rate was very, very badly affected by that, so bye-bye they go. But yeah, there's the mountains over yonder, and show you this little effect in motion. So what I did is I just put a little tree right on the other one. I show you game view and then go to immersive, and then that's all good. It's still getting like 120 frames a second, as you can see. So the merged tree is this right here. This is not the way it was supposed to be, like shaking around, but since all the branches just discombobulated, what I did is I just put another tree like right next to it so it's not merged. And there's like two or three trees. They're kind of two-dimensional, if you will. So it just looks like the trees behind it are getting absolutely, screwed over by the wind, but it's actually just a bugged tree model. So I figured that would look pretty cool because from down here, well, you're not going to see that. All you're going to see is a storm that's ravaging a forest off in the distance because there's like tornadoes and all this other crazy shit, lightning going off in the distance over there, and the forest has been set on fire. You're going to see a forest that's getting tossed around like a fucking rag doll, not a broken tree like you would from over here. From over here, that's not going to look like this tree is just hopping up and down. That's not going to look like some earthquake or a volcano or any number of other things. No, no. That's just going to look like, as you can see, it just looks like a forest that's being destroyed by a storm and a volcano. So it's kind of the cartoonish like Mario 64 or He-Man approach where just everything gets like tossed around, or Rescue Heroes even, where there's just a bunch of shit being tossed around by tornadoes and fire and volcanoes and whatever other natural disasters. So I figured that'd be pretty cool. Let me show you another one here. Alright, Magic School Bus. Here we are. The Magic Kingdom. So, this was another one. I don't think I've showed this one off, or if I have, well, doesn't hurt to give a refresher, but basically I merged this map. All these were mostly separate models. This is just some static lighting. It's fairly basic. This is the Besieged. So what I did was I merged all this shit into one or two big models, and then I had to redo the collision because the walls became just like see-through, like you couldn't walk on top of them. So basically you'd fall right through them. They just became like, the fake no collision walls that weren't going to allow you to get on top. So I just put some like big invisible cubes, and then I also put some big copies of the video games here, Rogue Josh and Rogue Planet, because I had to redo the entire collision of this map when I merged them all into one. But as you can sort of see with the performance here, it is pretty good. I mean, hey, it's a little hard to go wrong with anywhere from 90 to 100 frames a second when there's a bunch of big elephants in the room, quite literally, going right on top of me, trying to kill me and have me for breakfast. And there's a bunch of trees dropping leaves from the storm. Just good little details like those that I rarely see anymore being focused. Bunch of water streams are going down this tent, this big tarp tent I've made. It's kind of ghetto, but hey, it works. 60% of the time it works all the time. There's also this running water here, and there's big splashes that go down. It's not the best water in the world. It's not even 3D. It's literally just a texture, and hey, is what it is, but you can step in it, and fire zombies are going to try and chase you. Some big ripples coming across here. It's also like these big reflections, as you can see. The water is being reflected on the side, so it's also coming down the side, but yeah, there we are. These are still the old trees. I liked them, so I kept them. I've also simplified the geometry of the mountains, so they are not like 200,000 polygons like they were before. They're more close to 20,000 now. So this project's shaping up pretty well. Currently what I need to do is I need to port all of these maps that I've made. I need to ensure that the multiplayer has the correct music playing for the maps. I need to ensure that you spawn in as the correct player because there are still some placeholder weapons for the character that spawns in. I figured like I could just instance this and you would have like the one guy I just replace across all the maps and it would change his weapon. Well, little did I know it wouldn't, so I still have to go map by map and then replace the the guy with his weapon to be the correct one. Also, there's fun little fucking maps there. Sorry for the highlight there, Bloodburn, but you clown pussy level, where I was trolling you on the voice chat, happened to slip up. So anyway, that's just a funny name for the little blood town. Anyway, the thing I need to do is get these, now that they're all optimized and merged correctly, is I need to get these sorted and ported into the zombie survival. And then after I get zombie survival sorted, I need to then make the menus for this. I need to ensure the split screen is working, of course, and that should be the stress test release, all ready to go. So, yeah, thanks for watching. I figured I would just kind of rapid fire these as quickly as I could. There's been an absolute ton of changes, but I hope that makes up for the lack of devlogs in the past 2 months. It's just been thing after thing after thing. Spring cleaning, winter storm, trying to get Let's Play content, trying to get YouTube poops, trying to take care of dogs, trying to take care of myself and other family members, and hey, just one thing after another pops up. But hey, I'm still making time for this little video game, and I certainly hope to entertain. So thank you very much for watching. I hope to have this out here sooner than later, but I'm not going to be in any particular rush to try and just get it out before it's finished. I'm going to make sure this shit is, to the best of my ability, working and in a proper, presentable order, so that when you get your hands on it, you will have a very highly polished and very, very well-looking and running video game to play. So that's going to do it for this. Thank you very much for watching DevLog 28, 29, I think. I'll know which one it is. Take care.